paranormal. It surrounds us. It's everywhere. Tonight, you will hear from the people who live and work within these highly active locations, all in the efforts to discover America's most haunted. With your host, ghost hunter and author, Dan Terry.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. I am Dan Terry, your ghost host with the most haunted. We're going back to the Midwest, which is why I'm wearing my St. Louis shirt tonight. But we're going to Wisconsin, near Milwaukee, town. Well, the name of the group is City Paranormal. It is a all-female team. And yeah, before you all start talking about it, yes, I've gotten a lot of them lately because there's more all-girl teams than you might think. And if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know we've been talking to these about how women are portrayed on the television shows. If you're not a psychic or not something, I don't know, magic or whatever, the women seem to tend to take a back seat to the men. And that is the decision or the idea that, well, Sinister Sisters and I talked about it. 2 or 3 of the other groups, we've all discussed it. And I like to get their opinion on it. There are actually more all-female teams than there are all-men teams. And I've been coming across that over and over, and that's why I invite them on here to talk about that situation. This group, Park City Paranormal out of Wisconsin, they have done a place called Shaker's Cigar Bar. Sounds interesting. Bloody Bride Bridge. And if you don't have questions about the ghost of Bloody Bride Bridge, you're messing out. And the Calvary Cemetery in Tomahawk, Wisconsin. So this is Michaela and Katie, and this is Park City Paranormal.
Hello. Hey, Dan.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
I was going over some of your videos, some of the stuff you put up on the internet. I know you've got a YouTube page for sure. You've got a GoDaddy site, a website. So you guys have been pretty busy. Instagram. How long have you all been doing this now?
Since 2020. So
okay.
Like 5 years now.
Veterans. Great. So you've been around a while. Before we even start the evidence, and you sent quite a bit out, and I'm sure you heard the introduction, I've talked to several teams of all female, and they all seem to believe that TV does not represent them very well. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And it's funny because I always tell people this. Our team was never purposely meant to be an all-female team. I just happened to put in 2020, we were all bored. It was COVID. I said, I'm going to start my own team, and whoever wants to join, that's fine. And I said, whatever, meet at this restaurant at this time if you're interested. And got a couple people. Every single person was a female. No men showed up. I don't know if it's because they didn't take me seriously or if maybe they were just scared. I don't know. But it was only girls that showed up to be on the team. And so we had a team of 5 girls for the longest time. And, life just got in the way. And just recently we lost some of our members. And it's mostly just me and Katie now. But that's pretty much the story of that. Like, we never intended it for it to be just all female, but it helps. It really helps when we're doing like EVP sessions, because if we hear a male voice or we see a male figure or something, we know it's not one of us. So that kind of is in our favor.
Well, the other women I've talked to, and all of them are outstanding ghost hunters. I've seen their work. But why is television shows not showing this? Because, again, I have found more women than men on it.
Yeah, it is turning into something that women are stepping up and doing. I don't know if it's because, men tend to be the ones who handle all the equipment, or maybe they're portrayed as more brave, which, okay, I understand that, but I think it's really cool that more and more women are becoming more a part of the the industry, I guess you could say. And yeah, a lot of times TV, when I see popular TV shows, you're right. It's either like, okay, they're the psychic medium part of it, or they're the, I don't know, they're kind of portrayed as like maybe they're only on the team, or maybe they're only shown on TV because they're really pretty and that's what viewers are going to want, something like that. So I really appreciate you having us on here, being able to share our story as actual legitimate ghost hunters that are females. Oh, I think you're muted.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Ghost Hunter show, and several since then, but the women were always in the office. If they were out there investigating, they were secondary to the main stars.
Yes. Yep. Always like the side.
So why does these studios not coming to the women and saying, hey, you guys are doing great. We'd like to get you on here.
Right. And you know what? I see a lot of that on Paraflix, where they're really starting to empower women. They're Paraflix, the CEO of Paraflix, she's the leader of the Ghost Hunter Girls, and that's an all paranormal team. So yeah, I really hope that soon we will get more shows like that where it is just females, and and not just because they're it's not for people's entertainment. It's a learning experience. It's something, it's a passion, it's a hobby, it's a we want to learn more. And it's not just like, hey, we're cute, look at us, or hey, this is something that's popular, so let's just make it happen. No, like, this is a legitimate interest for a lot of females, and I really hope that soon TV will portray that a little bit more.
Yeah, I hope so, and it's interesting to get your point of view on that, because like I said, it matches most of the girls, all of them I've talked to about it.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this now for 5 years.
Yeah.
Where are you going outside of the Wisconsin area? Have you been to other places?
We have not been able to investigate outside of Wisconsin yet, and that's just due to like just living a busy life. I have 2 little kids. Katie's busy with work too, so like trying to get all of us together all the time is harder, but our goal is to expand beyond Wisconsin for sure.
All right. Well, look forward to hearing about that. You sent me a photograph that I think is just incredible. I want to start with that one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is death. To me, it looks like a robed figure with the hood up, carrying a orb.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to decipher what's going on up here, but you can very, very clearly tell that it's a person standing there.
Yeah. So what's the background of that story before I bring the photo up?
So Shaker's Cigar Bar in Milwaukee, it's known as I think they dub it the second most haunted bar in Wisconsin, or in the United States, actually, I think it is. Very rich history. It was a brothel owned by the Capone brothers back in the day. There are several recorded deaths there, bodies that were found on the property. I mean, it's incredible. They have their own YouTube channel. Highly suggest you check that out as well. And they give a tour as well to the public. Jeffrey Dahmer was notorious for eating and drinking there.
Wow.
Perhaps picked up some of his victims there. We don't know. But right in downtown Milwaukee there. So you can go there, have a drink, have a pizza, go on the tour. And that's what we did. We've done that numerous times. And that was when we were about to go down to the basement portion, the cellar part of the tour. And I happened to just take a picture. The basement was very dark, and I was the first one going down, and I went to take a picture and just thought I'll look at it later. And sure enough, after our whole spiel there, I was at the back at the hotel, and I was looking through my photos, and some of them were so dark that I wanted to lighten them to be able to see if I captured anything in the darkness that my eyes couldn't see. And that was what was standing there. So yeah, I might not have went down there if I knew that was down there waiting for me.
That is an incredible photo I'm seeing. Like I said, he's robed, he's got his hood pulled up, he's got a white face.
Yeah, kind of like come down here. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see his boots or pants and boots, or it's dark.
Right.
But it looks like he's carrying an orb or
a lantern or something, like
crystal ball, something. Yeah,
a ball of light or something. Yeah, yep.
You think he took someone's soul? I mean, that's.
Yeah, he looks like he did.
And is he looking at it, or is he? It looks to me like he's almost looking into it.
Right. And you know what the crazy part is? They have so many resident spirits there that they know all the names of, they know all the history of. We could probably show that to a lot of the tour guides, and they would be able to tell me exactly which spirit that is, because they have that is such a highly spirit populated place that so many people have captured figures in that
Okay.
in that bar. Yeah. So they could probably be like, oh yeah, that's so and so, like nothing to it, because it's so common to catch things there. I mean, every single time we've gone, it's been insane. Crazy. Yeah.
You mentioned the tour. Is that a tour of that building, or is there a local tour that includes that building?
That building itself. So you can actually go into Shakers.
Okay.
And you can, it's called, I think they call it the Hangman Tours. There's a couple different tours. I think the tour, don't quote me on this, I think it's about $20, and it's well worth it. You go to every level of the building. They tell you all about the story. You do a dowsing rod session. I mean, it's incredible, and it's so well worth it. And we try to go every year at least.
All right. Well, that is just one of the greatest captures I've seen. That's
thank you.
To me, that goes beyond a full-bodied apparition. This is looking like death.
Yeah, right.
Or the Grim Reaper here.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about that one, because that was just stunning.
Yeah.
You sent me some other photos here, and you've been to Shakers, and you've described the history of that. You said you've been there before. Have you captured anything else while you were there?
Yes, we've yes, quite a few things, quite a few EVPs, quite a few like videos. We've had one of our teammates, while we were, all five of us, we've had her wake up in the middle of the night. She had a dream of the spirit while she slept in that spirit's bed. I mean, like, we've had even just the feeling. I remember Katie and I forgot my purse up there one time, and we were going to go to the gas station to get snacks, and we were down in the bar part, and I said, oh my gosh, Katie, I forgot my purse upstairs. My money's up there. She's like, we got to go get it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared. Come with me. Like, just being in there, you're scared. So we go up there, and it's still decorated exactly how it was in the 20s as a brothel, during Prohibition. So it's still, you feel like you're back in time. And so we go up there to get my purse, and we both swear to God, actually, you can tell it because you heard it more than I did.
So as we walked into the bedroom area where the purse was, we heard what sounded like a little girl say hi.
And we both went like this, and we're like, let's go. We were out of there.
Like, we're not doing this yet, so hold on.
We're not ready for this. We were gonna go get snacks, not investigate yet.
So you think it was a child?
Either a child or a young
like a
woman.
Young girl, which makes sense based on the history that happened up there. There was, I think she was 16?
Yeah, like a teen girl
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
She was actually murdered up in that bed.
Wow.
She was suffocated in the bed, and then they chopped her body up in the bathtub, and then they burned her remains in the fireplace, and all the bathtub, the bed, and the fireplace are all still there.
Yes.
So
is this a John that had hired her or had paid for her, or is this the actual Capone brothers?
According to their story, this was, I want to say, this was one of the paying customers, and he knew her in her youth, I believe, or something like that. He had it for her. He didn't want anybody else to have her. And so when she said, no, I don't want to be with you, I like my job, I like what I'm doing, he's like, if I can't have you, nobody can. And then he killed her. And then the security guard came up and is like, what the heck? And then I honestly don't remember. I think they got into a fight. I think they have the whole story on their YouTube. But it's crazy interesting. And they actually did confirm her remains on the property. So her name's Molly Brennan, and she's the most popular girl that worked there. That was her domain, and she is the nicest spirit you'll ever meet. She just has the most beautiful protecting energy. And another person has captured her in a picture. I'll have to send that to you. I should have thought of it, but I'll send it to you. It's crazy. And she's just, we've captured audio of her coming up the stairs.
Oh.
So we were just sitting there, and I didn't hear it in real time. Katie heard it in real time, but it's captured on the video. And we're just sitting there, and we hear doot, 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 like heels running up the stairs. We were the only ones in the whole building. There were heels running up the stairs, and then as soon as they start getting slower and quieter, like as if they're arriving to the level, then the REM pod starts, you know, and we're like, that confirmed that she just entered the room. But she never gives off a negative energy. She makes you feel so safe and comfortable.
Okay.
And so that's why we love it there, because we're just like, hey, Molly, like, and she's so talkative. She loves everybody that steps foot in her place.
You all need to lecture about that one. You sounds like you got enough evidence to do a whole lecture on that.
Oh, yeah.
I know. When we go there, the owner's like, do you guys just want to give the tour? I'm like, you know, at this point, we probably could. Yeah.
Don't tempt us.
Right. Don't tempt us. We might. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting photo. Explain what we got here.
So I'm holding the SLS camera, and it's actually her dad that's standing there. And in the SLS, like in the far right corner, you can see not just the one figure with her dad, but you can see a second figure standing there next to him.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of a weird situation where you can see just the one person, but then two on screen kind of deal. So
yeah,
Okay.
you look at the screen, the upper right-hand corner, there's that black square that shows the, kind of looks like stick figures, you know. One of them
Yeah.
is my dad, and another one is a figure that we can't see with our eyes, and it's very clearly reaching out to my dad, and my dad's reaching his hand up. And my dad, let me tell you, is a skeptic, and he was freaked out that night.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
What kind of place was this?
So this was a Masonic temple, an old Masonic temple.
I've investigated several of them, and they're all crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was funny enough that I actually used to rent it out. And that's when we started kind of investigating, because I've heard and like seen some stuff going on. So I'm like, hey, do you guys want to just come do an investigation all together and see what we can find? And I think you're going to show another picture of the same place, which we can kind of get to with that.
Let's see which one that was.
It's the one with the big room. Oh, not that one. That one was Shakers again. There we go.
There we
Yep.
go.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this is in the temple room itself. We were doing the Estes method with one of our girls on the stage in the back. And we're asking questions, and all of a sudden, like, she happened to like look up as I snapped this picture, and she's like, I just heard a grunting noise, kind of, it sounded like a pig. And I didn't realize I caught this until I got home, going through everything. And I'm like, hey guys, what does this look like to you? And everybody's like, that looks like a pig walking across the floor.
Right in the center there, right?
Right
Right.
below
I'm
her.
seeing
Yeah.
just center to the right, and I'm seeing a almost shadow figure, but it's got the back is arched. I can see its head. I can see legs. It's got the rear end like a Hampshire hog.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rounded. It's rounded and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, and one of the stories is like one of a rumor is that they used to do animal sacrifices there. So it was kind of weird to actually capture what we thought was one of those animal
Okay.
sacrifices, which is kind of weird because we never really get too many like animal spirits and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Right. You never think of that really, and it's
Very
not
unique,
as
so.
common to get that.
So, Michaela, you said you work on radio.
I do. I'm the morning show co-host of 101.9 WDEZ, which is a country
Right.
station here in central Wisconsin.
And Katie, what do you do?
I work at an appliance store. Not quite
Okay.
as exciting, but
I think it's super exciting because those
Us-
are crazy people.
I do every day.
Wherever you work, you always get where it seems dull to you. Other
Right.
people think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
exciting. I get that. And how do you get the time off to do this sort of thing? I mean, I guess you both are off evenings, huh?
It's been hard because I have two small kids. My kids are first grade and second grade, both boys. You know, so it's when I don't have my kids, I'm working extra, like events, broadcasting live, and
Right.
Katie too, she has a lot of hobbies too outside of work. And so it's been hard. I mean, from April until now, I've been working a lot, but we try to do as much as we can during the slower months. It's nice to get out and do like cemeteries, in the warmer months, but sometimes it's just hard. So I'm really hoping that either this month or next month, we'll get to do more of the outside places and kind of save the indoor places for when it's freezing here in Wisconsin. And we do that. Like
it's cold.
We do in February or March, we typically do shakers. So yeah, that's when we try to do places, but we do more businesses than anything.
Yes.
So we don't do a whole lot of residences. That's what we lack, because I don't know if people are just scared to have us come in, or they think we're going to charge or something, which all of our services are free, in case anybody's watching this. But yeah, I mean, we tend to do local businesses that have, prior, maybe even they've had prior investigations by other teams. They're like notorious for being haunted, but we love local places that people don't realize are haunted. Those are my favorite, because it's kind of like the places that are super popular for being haunted. It's like, okay, everybody's done this, everybody's seen this, I mean, and it's fun. It is fun, but I think it's really cool to go into a place that people didn't even think to be haunted, and then we go and do something and we're like, hey, check this out, like, surprise, your favorite restaurant down the road, yeah, that's got a creeper in there. Yeah.
When I was ghost hunting back in Missouri, my wife would come with me quite a bit, and we had a lot more luck with child ghosts and her. I also had a psychic was with me who was a little older than me and had that grandfather kind of look to him. And the kids would go to him over me, which, yeah, I was a little more intimidating. Does that, you find the same thing, that you guys have more luck in a lot of these places because you're less intimidating than the men ghost hunters?
I think so. I think some
Might
are
be a
more
perk.
comfortable, I guess, around females versus male kind of thing.
The downside of that, though, is some people don't think we're credible. You know what I mean? Some people are like, oh, that's cute. Like, especially men. They're like, oh, you guys are hunting ghosts? Do you have like a sparkly, EMF or something? It's like, really? So sometimes they don't take us seriously because,
Really?
we're in our mid-20s and we're women, and we've been doing it for 5 years. And so even though we're technically certified, you don't have to be certified, but we are technically certified. We took a course in just paranormal research just to have a little bit more credibility behind us. And, so sometimes we're not intimidating. People feel more comfortable with us. And then on the other hand, we get both sides of the spectrum.
I had not heard that from any of the other groups I've talked to about this. I'm going to have to ask that. That's a new one on me.
Yeah.
Do the property owners not take you seriously, or just people?
We've been asked before. They're like, oh, so are you like a legit paranormal team, like how they do on TV? And I'm like, yes. They're like, wait, so you have like equipment and stuff? Kind of like they don't think that we are capable of having this equipment and know how to use it. Like, I don't know if they think that's kind of like the man's job. And I get that too. And I see that with any job in technology and radio. I get people are like, you're a DJ, like you're a girl. I'm like, correct. Like, it doesn't matter. But yeah, sometimes we get, people kind of look at us weird, like, oh, okay. Like just very surprised. So.
And I've never heard that about being a DJ either. And there's St. Louis had quite a few of them.
Really?
I'm
in the wrong place.
I'm just kind of stunned that people would say something like that, both on DJ and ghost hunting. I'm sure you come in with equipment.
Yeah. Yep. They're like, so you do what they like the big teams do? I'm like, correct. Yes. Like we do what they do. Yeah.
You're starting to kind of make me feel bad for men here, bad because of men.
No, you're fine.
That's just, I find that shocking.
Yeah,
it's much worse than even I suspected.
Yeah, and not always. Most people are awesome about it. Most people believe us from the start. But yeah, we'll get a lot of older people are kind of like, okay, that's cute. You know, like they don't really, yeah. And I don't know if that's because newer generations are starting to have more, like females are starting to get more into the business, or not the business, but the field, I guess. You know, and so I don't know if it's just like that, but I feel like the people who have the most negative things to say are the ones who don't know about this area. They don't know anything about the paranormal. They don't, you know, they're not involved. And anybody who is in the paranormal field knows very well that women love it just as much and are involved just as much, if not more.
Or more so, yeah. Again, that's the thing I'm getting at, is that the women are there in the hunting. They're there, but they're not represented on television to that numbers.
Right.
Not even
And I don't know if
close.
it's men. I don't know if men are more portrayed as scary, like nobody's scared of women, but I think women are scarier than men. I'm more scared of women than men.
One of my largest ghost hunts, which took me through 3 different buildings and a cemetery, was a female serial killer from the 1920s. I was plenty scared of her.
Oh, I bet. Oh my God.
She scratched a girl in front of me. I didn't see her, but I saw the scratch marks. Just,
oh my gosh.
And when I was in boot camp in 82, the bus came in, the gates closed, and it was a woman drill instructor, and she scared me more than any man ever would have.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah, I totally get it.
All right. Hey, I got to shoot off to do a quick commercial. Would you all stand by? And I'll be right back. We'll talk some more about the evidence and talk to you in a minute. Park City Paranormal. Like I said, guys, I've talked so much to these all-female groups, but they're pointing out things I guess we just never got around to talking about before. I wonder if it'd be an idea to bring some of these groups together and chat about this, or let them chat about it. They've had their adventures. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I never thought about it, but that photograph was incredible. And speaking of incredible, guys, I do want you to check these out, and I will be back in just a moment.
The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unex Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to research a haunted house can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unexmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unexmedia.com or amazon.com. The Unex Network presents a health and wellness spiritually based brand of hemp-derived CBD products made by Hopewell Farm in Harrogate, Tennessee. We apply our Cathara energy work with all of our plants and products. Our products made in small batches with only 2 ingredients of pure hemp, full-spectrum crude oil, and coconut-derived MCT oil. Third-party lab tested for potency and legal THC levels with 6 strengths of 1 ounce oil to choose from. Know what you're buying and get what you pay for from Hopewell Farm. Applied directly to a specific area, Hopewell Farm topical salve in 1 ounce and ½ ounce sizes, made with pure hemp crude oil, comfrey extract, and all natural ingredients. Find the Hopewell Farm link and coupon code on the Unex Network website at unexnetwork.com. That's unexnetwork.com.
All right, guys, at the end of the show, we'll talk about joining the UNX network and all that good stuff. But I want to get back now to Park City Paranormal because I'm enjoying the conversation and learning a few things here. So, all right, we had a lot more evidence to show. Do you have anything else you want to add before we switch over to a new topic?
Oh man.
I
don't know.
Could, but it would take a while.
I was gonna say, I guess we'll just kind of wait till you guide us and you ask us whatever you want to know because there's a lot going on up here.
Well, I didn't know if maybe you had more you wanted to talk about the role of women in the paranormal field, but let's move on here to some of this evidence.
Yeah.
That one we showed, and that one. Okay.
That one. Yeah. That one is crazy. So that one, and I'm kicking myself now for not having sent you the before and after because I have a couple pictures that are like, you can't see. So let me backtrack here. We were at Shakers. This was upstairs at Shakers, and the resident spirit Patrick, he is notorious for liking blondes. He really likes blonde girls, apparently. A lot of blonde girls, they report having their hair pulled, which is what happened to me. And all the girls in the group could see in real time. They could see my hair move as I felt it. And I'm like, whoa. And they're like, take a picture, take a picture. So I went to like take a selfie, and then I kind of angled it like this because kind of like where Katie is, that's where this China hutch thing was behind me. And as you can see, there's like a mirror inside it. And so you can see reflections from the outside. And I took a couple of them and we're looking through them and it's like, okay, I don't see anything there. I don't see anything there. I'm scrolling and I come to this one and you can see right in the middle bottom, like quadrant, I guess. You can see actually resident spirit Patrick look in. And but yeah, you can actually
I'm
see
seeing
him.
the face. Absolutely. It's on it would be on my left side from where the two doors meet.
Yeah. Yep. So he's peeking in there.
Wow. And that in the other photos you've got, that was not in there. That face was not.
Correct. And it's crazy because it's the exact same picture like 4 times, but only this one has his face in it.
Okay.
100%. And it matches up directly. Like how he looks, you can see he has dark hair, he has dark circles under his eyes, and there's actually a photo on the wall, like in that same room of that same spirit captured in somebody else's photo. They framed it and put it up in that same room. Okay. So it's really crazy because I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's Patrick. That looks identical. There's no mistaking it. He's in a dark suit. He has dark hair, dark circles under his eyes. I mean, that's, yeah.
And who is Patrick?
Patrick is the one who murdered Molly.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, he's the one who murdered Molly. So he's not a very nice spirit. I wouldn't go as far as say he's like negative, like he's evil or something, but like just wasn't a good person, didn't make the best decisions, obviously murdered Molly. And so he gets crabby and he actually showed up in that picture because I provoked him. I take full responsibility. We didn't get a whole lot during the night, actually, that night. And then in the morning, we only had like 2 hours left of our investigation and we had traveled 3 hours to go do this. And I'm like, okay, Patrick, I'm like, show me what you got. Like, we're going to leave soon. And I don't believe that you're actually here. And then that's when things kicked up. And I
warned her.
She warned me.
Her not to do
it. She warned me. I was crabby. I was like, I didn't get anything. And I remember them saying like, don't mess with the spirits there because bad things will happen. My stepdad actually passed away that night and we have no idea why. No reason. He was 41. Yeah. So thank you. But yeah, like we still don't know really what happened, but I just find that weird that, I was kind of provoking the spirit. And then as soon as I got home, I found out that my stepdad passed away that night. So I'm like, I wonder if he had anything to do with it, and it's just weird. And so he showed up in that picture and around the same time that they would have found my stepdad. Don't know if it's connected or not, but it's kind of like a threat almost.
Yeah, it does sound like a hell of a coincidence.
Right, because we still haven't found a reason he was only 41. So it's just weird, that same exact night.
Well, did they have an autopsy done? I'm sure they did.
They did. They just said natural causes. No idea. Just, yeah.
All right. I saw this one and thought this is really wild.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are going to say pareidoia or whatever, but
And the arrow just points.
The arrow points at the face. What's the background?
here?
Yeah, because I saw it and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just me seeing things. And then my team saw it. I showed other people, and there's a couple people that don't see it. And I'm like, dude, it's right there. So for you to say you saw it right away,
the arrow, it'll lead you right to it.
you can see the eyes, the nose, she's gasping. She's like she's scared or something.
Yeah. So where is this at, and what's the background?
This was at Bloody Bride Bridge that's a tongue twister, in Stevens Point, central Wisconsin, and on Highway 66. And the story or the legend is that years ago, this couple had just gotten married, and I don't know if they were going out or they were on their way home or what, but they, again, don't know if they hit an animal or hit a patch of ice. The story kind of varies, but somehow they got, into an accident. They rolled their car, and apparently they rolled into that river going under the bridge there. So that's the story. And I don't know if you're familiar with the book Weird Wisconsin.
I know the Weird series. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay. Weird Wisconsin is my favorite. That one has the full story in it, and all the different versions and accounts that people have, told, or things they've experienced. One is very significant. There's a cop apparently that went, and I think they have it on record. There's a police officer that went through there, and he actually stopped because he thought he saw a woman walking across the road, and he got out of his car to try to see if she was there, and then couldn't find anybody. So he went back in his car, and she was in his back seat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, rushed him out.
Yeah, that's why I stopped listening to Art Bell on the midnight shifts when I was a cop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you were a police officer as well?
35 years, yeah.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure you've seen some freaky stuff.
So this lady here, she does look frightened.
Right.
And it's just, I would almost say, with the arrow pointing to her face, that's just too much. But
I know, right? I'm like, seriously? And yeah, and some people, like
Perfect
you said,
height.
yeah, just perfectly right there. And I'm like, what in the world? And that picture, that's a cropped picture. I had to really zoom in because I was zooming in, looking for everything. And I saw this like fog. It looks like it's fog, and we didn't see fog really there while we were there, or nobody was smoking there, so we can't figure out where, what that is. So it's kind of just looks like a glare too off of the window, because I actually took this picture from inside my car.
We were leaving.
We were
the
leaving.
Investigation. She's like, you know what? I just want to take one more picture.
Yeah.
And I don't know what made her do it, but I'm glad she did.
Right. I was somebody, I don't remember who was driving, but I took this picture through the windshield, and then I zoomed in, and then I cropped that part. And then, yeah, you can literally see a face. It's crazy.
that is quite a capture. That's two just amazing captures you showed me tonight.
Thank
I
you.
can't believe some of that.
Yeah.
I would have to lean more towards Death holding the orb, but that one is pretty incredible right there.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like, I'm the only one seeing this, because I'm pretty sure not.
well, that's one of the things about pareidoia is everyone sees something different.
Right.
But that, I saw exactly what we talked about later when I looked in that.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is a cemetery.
Yep.
It is. So this is Calvary Cemetery in Tomahawk. And when, I don't know if I took this picture, but we put it out on Facebook, on our Facebook page, and we never saw anything. We were just like, oh, this is just like some pictures that we took. And somebody that was looking at it was like, hey, did you guys notice that there's a figure in your picture? We're like, oh, no. And so they sent us it and circled it, and you can actually see like this like white like face looking thing. And I mean, it's a pretty tall figure. That branch is pretty high up. But you can kind of see like the little bit of black like along the tree stump there. The tree.
Yeah,
The trunk,
he or she is peeking, and whatever it is very tall.
But what's crazy is that we were kind of like seeing a little bit of stuff here and there, and we kept hearing like what sounded like something growling at us, and we just assumed like, oh, it's an animal, but we never saw any animals around. And so we're like, oh, let's just start taking pictures and see if we get anything. And then apparently we got that. So we don't know if that's what was growling at us or not, but
We've a couple times that we've been there, we've almost, I think every time we've been there, we've heard growling, and there's no, at first I'm like, it almost sounded like a cow, like doing a grunt or something. And I'm like, are we near a farm? You know, because it's a very wooded area. There's, you know, it's in the middle of Tomahawk. Like it's, you know, wooded area, a cemetery, creepy cemetery. And I'm like, there are no animals around here. Like, there's no way. And, you know, we had a lot of EMF activity when there shouldn't be really any electricity out there at all. So it was, yeah, it's a really freaky place to go. There's been reports of people going there in the middle of the night and seeing a young girl hanging by a noose in one of the trees. Yeah, like it's and you get the vibe as soon as you get there that there's something not nice there. Like it's freaky.
That is an interesting picture too. So what would you say is the most frightening place you all have been to?
For me, it's Shakers.
probably Shakers.
Yeah. But
the Molly is a very warm and protective spirit.
That's what makes the place tolerable, I think.
Okay.
But honestly, that Calvary Cemetery that we just saw, the last time we were there was about a year ago. Katie and I went hightailing it out of there because it was during a it's called Fall Ride, where all the motorcyclists, like, it's a big kind of weekend. I don't know, everybody's on their motorcycle, and so all the local businesses and bars are all open till late. So we kept seeing people walk through, and we were convinced at first that they were just like drunk people or something wandering around, or kids or whatever, and they would just disappear. And that's the first time that I've ever seen an apparition with my eyes ever, because they were so real looking, and me and Katie both like just saw them and we're like, we got so scared we had to leave. Like,
and it wasn't just like one or two, like we saw, I think, a
multiple
total of like 6 that night.
Yeah.
And at first we were like, okay, and we drove around the cemetery, nothing, didn't see anybody, and we were sitting in my car, and then I see what looks like a figure walking towards my truck.
Yeah.
And
we're like,
all of a sudden it was just gone, and I'm like, wow. Like, I think we were there for like maybe 30 minutes because the energy was just so much. And of course it happened to have landed on Friday the 13th is when we did it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I know.
So
No hockey mask though.
so much.
It took me, I think, 30 minutes to get out of Katie's truck. Here's my car, here's Katie's truck. It took, like, all I had to do was open her door and open mine and get into my car. It took me 30 minutes to get out of her truck to get into mine. Like, it was, her truck was almost touching my car, and I like did not want to get out. I was that scared. I mean, we were like stone cold, still freaked out, like we could barely breathe. And like, you know, yeah, that's just the feeling you get when you're there. It's crazy.
I've never been afraid of ghosts as much as I am people. So
Yeah,
I understand.
Right. Well, that's the thing. We didn't know if it was people that were maybe under the influence. We didn't know what they were capable of. We didn't know if it was a wild animal because we're in the woods. You know, those are all factors when it comes to investigating places outside or public places. Those can always like be a danger, you know. So we didn't know what it was, and so we were very freaked out because we didn't know how to prepare ourselves, right?
All right, let's see what we got on this one. 7 seconds. Was this the EVP or was this one the video?
That I think is going to be an EVP.
Okay, let's try that.
Oh, that's not a balloon. That's a ball. Oh, that's not a balloon. That's a ball.
Oh, like there's no doubt about it. That's terrifying. And none of us heard that in real time.
So there was 3 of us there that night. And this is at a school in Broadhead, Wisconsin.
Down by Madison, kind of. The capital.
And Michaela was like just videotaping, and she happened to like see like this ball. So we went to go find this ball just to see if we could like use it to like communicate with some of the kids that might have passed. And she's walking there, and I'm just still sitting in the room, like in the back of this video. And we in real time didn't hear any of this noise happen. Like we didn't hear anything go. And then she messaged me later on like, hey, there's a noise in this video. Like, do you remember
did
this? I'm like,
anybody hear
"No."
this giant bang? Because one of us would have reacted. Like, that's crazy.
All right, let me play this again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a balloon. That's a ball.
I like how it's kind of like a.
Oh, that's not a balloon. That's a ball.
Yeah.
And
It always takes
nobody
a pause,
heard
like,
that.
Dun dun dun, a ball.
Yeah,
like that's what it sounds like. But it's just like.
So
Yeah, I did
none of
notice.
you all heard that noise, which was actually quite loud.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that was so loud. That had to have been in the room with us. And there's no way that, we wouldn't have reacted if we, I mean, I would have probably screamed. I mean, I'm such a baby and I'm so easily startled that if I would have actually heard that in real time, I would have probably passed out.
All right, now I can understand that. All right, one more here. This is the EVP. Do you want to set it up first?
Oh, the Ralph one?
I think so.
Yep.
So me and Michaela are sitting in a office at a local place in Merrill, Wisconsin. And we're just kind of randomly talking about something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, you'll hear something in the video, and then towards the end of it, I actually get on like a little device that shows me like a dictionary thing, and it says breath. So you'll kind of hear me say, "Oh, it just said breath." Like, did you make a breath in the
Right after you
recorder,
hear this
so.
noise, which sounds like a breath
Yeah.
or like a
Yeah.
like a and so it's crazy.
I think he's saying a word, or it's saying a word. I just can't quite make out what it is.
Right.
So, all right, let's try this one.
I hear the thing goes off. I know, right? And it won't get me out of here. Oh, here we go. Breath. Breath. Did you make a breath in the recorder?
Gosh, it sounds
Yeah.
like a name.
Right. I want to say it's Ralph, but
We think it says Ralph, but in like a more raspy voice, is what we think.
Listen to it just before the R sound. I think there's a sound before that he's making.
okay.
So,
I hear the thing goes off. I know, right? And it won't get me out of here. Oh, here we go. Breath. Breath. Did you make a breath in the recorder?
was you able to catch that? If not, just check it out when you can put on the headphones. That helps a lot.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but there is
It's so
something,
raspy.
and that is an EVP. He is saying something. I can't figure it out what. But you stopped talking before he said it.
Right.
Right.
And the thing is, like, it came up on as the word on our device, it said breath. So like, almost like it was telling, and it kind of sounds like that's what it's saying too. Breath.
It could be.
Yeah. And that place, we're not allowed to say the name of it because they wanted to stay anonymous, but that place was kind of it was an old like a retirement home for a long time. And now it's been converted into like a disabled adults like facility group home. And so it would make sense. It does sound like an elderly person kind of.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of anyway. And that would make sense. That would be that would match the circumstance, like the old person, and we hear an old person. I don't know if it's almost sounds like an old man or an old lady like looking for their significant other, or like maybe they took their last breath or they couldn't breathe, or I don't know. I have no idea, but there were plenty of elderly people that died there.
And
Let's play it one more time because that sound is, I don't know. I'm hearing something there.
I hear the thing goes off. I know, right? And it won't get me out of here. Oh, here we go. Breath. Breath. Did you make a breath in the recorder?
Freaky.
It is. Gosh. And I spend so much time on EVPs that I hear things other people don't sometimes, but
Yeah.
and other times it's something totally different. But God, that's
I
good.
hear the thing goes off. I know, right? And it won't get me out of here. Oh, here we go. Breath. Breath. Did you make a breath in the recorder?
A lamb. I don't know. That's the fun part of this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's a great capture. I just cannot quite grasp what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that place is kind of notorious for our EVPs because we actually got another one which I tried sending you, but I don't think I don't know if that one worked or not. But
we can send you a link to it. It's on our Facebook page too.
But I know it's us talking, and all of a sudden I kind of just get this feeling, and my recorder is going, and I'm like, I feel like it's something like back in that corner, and then you'll hear and then it's like a voice. It sounds like a male voice that says, "I'm back in the corner," and then I ask, "Are you back in that corner?"
Clear as day. I'm back in the corner. Like, it's so creepy. It's so eerie. And it's very clearly a man's voice. And there were no men there with us that night. And it's eerie because we could feel something in that corner. And she says, "Are you back in the corner?" It says, "I'm back in the corner." And then she says, "I think it's back in that corner."
And we have that little bit of a clip on our Facebook page too.
Yeah.
So if people
Yeah, on the Facebook
it's
page.
Under a video.
Facebook page is under Park City Paranormal.
Yes. Yep.
What's your next move? What do you plan to hit next?
We do want to go back to Shakers again because it's always a fun time. But we would really I would like to check out Bobby Mackey's once they rebuild it eventually. We're going to be working more on our podcast, pushing out our podcast because, like I said, that lull from April to August, we've been just so swamped with work and kids and whatever. So we're getting back on the saddle, and we're going to be pushing out our podcasts even more.
Okay.
And
we plan on going back to Calvary Cemetery probably soon, this year before winter hits. We are planning to hopefully do a little bit more expos starting next year.
Yeah, we'd like to get more involved, meet more teams, get more opportunities, collabs, things like that. I would love to get a better banner and work on more merch because we have stuff. We have apparel and pens and gloves and stuff. And so I would like to work on a new logo, maybe like an updated logo and more merch and stuff like that. So I like to do a lot of like the marketing and social media and things like that. And Katie's Katie has all the equipment. Katie's
the equipment person.
She dives in. She does yeah. And I try to do the marketing of the team, but it's been hard. It's been a really busy summer, but now that it's winding down, we're getting back at it.
And we're hopefully gonna try to do a public ghost hunt, hopefully in Merrill, Wisconsin. It's what's called a Riverland Trail. That's supposed to be haunted. So we do hopefully plan on doing that, and then doing some donation things, like if you bring something to donate,
Okay, yeah.
We're really big about trying to do community events. We do the Christmas parade every year. We put a float in it. Everyone's like, "It's not Halloween," and we're like, "Ghost hunting is all year, baby."
All year.
Yes.
And so people think that we're like a Halloween float, and but that's fine. So we want to do more events in the community, things like that. Get ourselves out there a little bit more, and all
right. Well, if you guys get the chance, get some really great evidence, get a hold of me. I want to bring you back, and I'm still thinking on getting a hold of a lot of the all-female groups. Just let them talk about this situation.
Yeah, so I would be totally willing to do that. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, so Michaela and Katie with Park City Paranormal, would you all hold on just a minute? And I'll be back as soon as I get done with this stuff here I got to do.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for being on, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, guys. Real briefly, I do want to talk to you a little bit about joining up with the UNX Network. Go to unxnetwork.com. First page, drop down a little ways. There's all the stuff about becoming a member. You get a lot of neat stuff when you become a member. And just kind of let me show you a little bit about it. You get the magazine. Magazine comes out every couple of months, and it is directly for free sent right to your email address. You can get paper copies, and I often get paper copies, but this is what you can get. And it's got some great writers in it. Lee Spiegel, before he passed away, wrote for Onyx Magazine. The one on the left has a couple of stories by me, one on Halloween legends. And I'm talking about legends like when I was a kid, when they used to claim cults were going to kidnap blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls to sacrifice on Halloween, or razors in the apples. All of these have a basis in reality that was blown way out of proportion. And I talk about that, as well as the Battleship North Carolina, which is also incredibly, incredibly haunted. There's other magazines. This is one I've done recently with an article on haunted dolls. And this one here, I've talked to you before about it. I've done a whole show on the old Devil's Diner. It was a very famous place called Tri-County Truck Stop, or the Old Diamonds on Route 66. Extremely haunted. I ghost hunted that thing multiple times. And recently it was hit by a tornado and all but destroyed. So that was the last story I have from the Devil's Diner. So that's in there. You get the newsletter, which has been burning up lately with UFO sightings, and the Navy coming out with more of the Tic Tac information. So got that. And there's a newsletter. Comes out several times a week, mostly about what shows are coming on, but also, I mean, recently we've gotten several on witches and cryptids that were sighted. Mothman's a big one. A lot of stuff you get just for joining up. So you may want to check into that. Plus, the Onyx Network has all kinds of shows, ghosts, cryptids, conspiracies, UFOs, alien abduction. We got all of it here. You need to check all that out. But I'm going to go ahead and take off because my time is up for this week. So I want you all, hey, weather's kind of weird. Last week here in North Carolina, it was 102 degrees. Today it was like 68 and cold rain. We're in that weird flux. It usually hits in late September and October. But whatever it is, I want you all to stay cool, stay warm, whatever you need to do. But I think the most important thing of all is for you to stay spooked. Good night.